So, got something special for y'all today. I'm doing a marker test. Now, for those of you who don't know, these are dice bay markers. You probably see me use these in the videos, mostly on Gundam Eyes and stuff like that. I have them in all sorts of colors. They have a felt tip. Gives them this nice little cone shape, makes them easy to control. It's considered like a brush tip kind of thing. That being said, these are Arrtx markers. Arrtx are a brand I found on Amazon. They were like 10 bucks for an 8-pack. Might have been closer to 11 or 12, but anyways, they weren't super expensive for an 8-pack. And much like the dice base, they have the felt tip with the cone shape, making them much easier to control than, say, Gundam markers, because all the Gundam markers I've ever used have that really hard tip. That being said, I wanted to test to see how the black and the white Arrtx markers do on a dark piece of plastic, or on any piece of plastic, in changing its color. Now, theoretically, the black one will go on a lot easier than the white, but we're going to try and see how both of them do, just to get a feel. And we're going to hit it with some pretty hard light during the process on the black, just to make sure that everything's coated. That being said, we're going to jump into it, and I'm going to let you guys see how it looks, and we'll talk about it all afterwards. But essentially the goal is to use the white marker on the white side until we get an absolutely perfect result of, white with no dark blue showing through. We're mostly going to be focusing on this upper part of the GM's optic sight, these two sides. So just to let you guys know what we're going to be working with. And then I'll give you guys my opinion at the end, because whereas you guys will be seeing it through the camera, I'll be seeing it through my own eyes, so I'll see stuff differently than what the camera might pick up. So we've just completed our first coat on this part. The black adhered really well. Well, they both adhered really well. And I will say a part of that is I just noticed these things say they have high adhesion, so that's a plus. But the black coated very well. Like, I don't know how well you guys can see. Let me try and get the camera to do its thing on it. But there's no blue showing through that, so that's really impressive. And even on the white side, it's not like filled everything in. There's still a lot showing through. Like, you guys can't see it the way I can. I can definitely tell it's streaky a bit, but it's doing really good for the first coat. So we'll give it a few more coats, see how it does. We'll keep track of everything along the way. Give them 24 hours to dry between coats, just to make sure. But to be honest, I actually saw, if you saw, I froze for a minute while painting on the black side because I could see it drying. So that's actually kind of impressive. I'm not used to watching paint dry. I mean, kind of as a scale modeler, but still. So that being said, we'll have to wait and see how these do with the next coat of paint. So as you can see, it took about 5 coats of white to coat this piece and give us the nice finish we have here. Now the finish is a little bit on the glossy side. Like, it's not glossy, but it's higher. So I definitely want to hit it with like a top coater afterwards to kind of even it out. If that makes sense, because I kind of prefer the satin finish, which is what the plastic usually comes in. That being said, you see me with the little stick dropping it on the piece earlier, and what I was doing is I was doing like an impact test. I wanted to see what would happen if the pieces collided on this side. And to be honest, when I was just dropping it and it was hitting, it wasn't doing any damage. But when I took it and I like forcefully did it, it did damage, but it's so small that I had to use the magnifying glass to actually see it, which is actually rather impressive. And you've seen how fast it dried. Now I was going to speed everything up to 6 times. While I was working on it in post, I decided that 3 times speed would be fine, because that's just doubling its speed from, well, no, wait, hold up, 3 times speed would be more than doubling, obviously, but it would be making like what would be a 1-hour video would be 10 minutes. Well, this would make it a little bit long. Honestly, yeah, I mean, it dries so fast. At the very end, what I was doing is I was checking to see about how clean it scrapes off for like edging. And to be honest, it has a little bit of issue there, but I think it's because it's a high adhesion. I want to test one thing real quick while you guys are on here with me. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my knife, I'm gonna drag it down this thing, and I'm going to see if I can make a cleaner cut that way using the same little tool from before. It should give me a perfectly clean cut. Okay, so there's our line, and to be honest, I had to push a little bit to get that in there. Holy cow, this stuff really adheres. I am glad that Gundam came with a spare helmet so I could have a test piece to try this stuff on. Wow, okay, that is a difference of night and day. So, that's how it turns out. Like, that is perfectly clear, a perfectly clean line right across it. Honestly, guys, these markers are worth it. Now, like I said before, they are Arrtx markers. Let me see where, there they are. There's one of them. This is them here, Arrtx acrylic markers. Absolutely amazing. I will post the, well, there'll be a, well, let me think, this way, was that way, okay. This is the listing here for them on Amazon, just so you guys can see what I'm talking about. I want to be completely forward with you guys on, show you guys it. I will try to post a link to them in the description. That shouldn't be too hard to do. And that way you guys can, you know, order a set if you want them, because honestly, these are going to make doing this stuff a whole lot easier for me. Both of these will. Which, to be honest, it's become pretty easy at this point anyways, but the way the white coated and everything, and its adhesion level and everything, I mean, I didn't even need primer, and it's holding this well. I mean, that's thoroughly impressive. I'm thoroughly impressed with this, as somebody who's been doing this for 20 years, and I've really only taken up painting in the past 6 years, that I'm really, you know, I'm really satisfied with the results I'm getting off of this. Really satisfied. That being said, you guys have a great one. I gotta get off here and go do stuff, and it sounds like they're starting to fight out there anyways. So, yeah, I'll catch you next time.